had to laugh. I had to laugh at George Quay on this one.
One Ghanaian language that if you can speak, there's no way you get lost in Ghana.
You say what's up?
Like it or yes, it's
you say what's up? The pidgin?
No.
No.
Pidgin is not a Ghanaian language.
It's not?
It's not.
It's not?
There
So
is
what is it?
one Ghanaian language. If we are all going to be honest, everywhere in Ghana, when you go and you speak Twi, somebody will understand. Somebody can interact. Let's be frank, it's not the same with Ga. It's not the same with Ewe. It's not the same with Nzima.
This
It's not the same.
This is a huge conversation.
You see, it's a fact that we like to run away from. It's not like we are trying to empower one group over the other. Strategically, where they find themselves, anything, osmosis diffusion concept, anything that finds itself in the center seems to spread a bit further than other things. The Ashantis find themselves in the center of Ghana. So they've spread wider than any other group of people. Intermarriages, trade, and everything. So their language, and because they're in the middle, people travel. You are going to the north, you go through there. You are coming to the south, you go through there. So their language seems to be the most. It's a fact. I don't even know why we try to debate it.
It's about the fact that the Akans like to travel more. They like to explore because they are in the forest zone. So they like to travel. They like to come from their villages. Accra is the capital. So they like to come and find jobs in Accra. What point is he trying to prove? I can see this conversation has been going on for some time. How is Ghana going to benefit if the Akan language is made the official language? Ghana is not going to benefit in any way. And I'm speaking for all Ghanaians from all tribes. I'm speaking for the Ga, I'm speaking for the Nzima, I'm speaking for the Ebe, I'm speaking for the Northerners, I'm speaking for every Ghanaian tribe. Because at the end of the day, we are Ghanaians. At the time when Ghana gained its independence, and the South states and the Middle Belt states and the Northern states became one. There was no longer any divisions amongst us. At the times the slave trade ended, and then moving forward, at the time colonialism ended, we all became one. There are no longer divisions amongst us. In the era of the slave trade, the Ashantis wanted to have an upper hand because they were supplying the gold to the Europeans. They were supplying the slaves to the Europeans. So they wanted to have autonomy. Fast forward in time, when the global economy has completely changed, it is really, really surprising that the Akan people or some group of people will still advocate for the Akan language to be the official language in Ghana. How is that going to benefit us? And even if the Ga language is made the official language in Ghana, or the Ewe language is made the official language in Ghana, how is it going to benefit us on the international market? I'm talking about international trade. I'm talking about global trade. Because by the time the slave trade ended, economics changed altogether. At the time the barter system ended, economics changed altogether. And it seems we are failing to catch up with the kind of economics that is going on in the world. Ghana is seriously failing to catch up. We shouldn't even be talking now about one local language being an official language. Who are you going to trade with that language on the international market, on the global market? China is now a great force when it comes to business. Who are you going to communicate with in Akan? Who are you going to communicate with in Ga? Who are you going to communicate with in Ewe or Dagbani? These languages are not recognized on the international market. Trade and economics and business has changed completely. And even when the foreigners were coming to our shores at the time of the transatlantic trade, we started using some of their words in our language. That means our languages do not have that much strength when it comes to trade, business, commerce, economics, and all the things that makes a country move, a country progress. Our languages are not that strong. So we shouldn't even be having this conversation about the Akan language being understood by everyone. If the Akan language is understood by everyone, so how does that help anybody? And I'm talking international, I'm talking global. If the locals understand it, fine, but it's nothing to be so excited about. It is nothing to be so excited about. We are really focusing on the minor things, on the petty things. And when you read back into before the Europeans came to Africa, if you read back and then you read back to after they left, if you compare our methods of trade, business, and economics from pre-colonial times through colonial times up until now, you will realize that we have not really been able to look ahead in time to realize how we should trade to benefit us more than we have been able to achieve at this moment. Is it that we are short-sighted? Short-sightedness. If I say short-sighted, because at that time there was the Akans, there was the Fantis playing different roles. The Fantis were middlemen. The Gans were also on the coast. They were also middlemen. The main interests of the Europeans at the time were the gold and slaves. We were really myopic, short-sighted when it comes to economics and trade. Why do I say that? I say that because on a large extent, the kind of trade we did back then has not really benefited us. It has rather sucked the continent. It has rather drained the continent. We've rather experienced brain drain. At the moment, we have African Americans, we have Jamaicans, we have Africans spread all over the world, which does not necessarily benefit Africa in any way. All these people spread all over the world. They will trace their history back to Africa, or they will trace their DNAs back to Ghana or wherever. But how do we benefit from that anyway? This is why I say we have not really been strategic when it comes to economics and trade. Now, when you talk about language, because language and development goes hand in hand, okay? How is the Akan language going to benefit Ghana? How is the Akan language going to benefit Ghana? It's not. And I'm talking global. I'm talking international trade. Who are you going to have a conversation with in Akan on the international market? In the same way, who are we going to have a conversation with in the Ga language on the international market? The local languages in Ghana are only beneficial around the borders of Ghana, within Ghana. The local languages are only beneficial to the people of Ghana within the borders of Ghana. When you get out of the borders of Ghana, the local languages do not matter anymore. The local languages do not matter anymore. So having Akan, we shouldn't even debate about this. We should not even debate about this, because it looks like in Africa, we refuse to realize that the world is now a global village. The world is now a global village, and we refuse to think beyond the boundaries of Ghana. And that is what is limiting us in many ways. The world has far advanced in technology, in innovation, in finance, in business. The world has far advanced. I mean, we even fight over food, jollof rice. Ghana and Nigeria jollof. I mean, there are people working in space by now. There are people at NASA studying things about the universe who have not even eaten jollof before. So why are we fighting over jollof rice? What I'm trying to say is that we have to think broader when it comes to advancement, when it comes to development, when it comes to progress. We have to think global. And this is what we failed to do before the Europeans came, and even when we were trading with the Europeans. This is what we failed to do, and we are failing to do the same thing now. And if we keep doing that, Ghana is going nowhere. I mean, Ghana is even a small country in Africa. So Ghana on its own, we can do something if we want to move forward. We can work together with other African countries and other countries in the world. I don't even see why there should be any limitations. And it's all about what you bring to the table. What are we bringing to the table? We have gold, we have timber, we have oil. But yet, the people in Ghana are suffering. Ghana is suffering. We don't have electricity. Our school system is in shambles. There are no jobs. So even if we sing all day and all night that we have gold and we have all those raw materials, it's not really serving the country much. It's not really building the economy because of our poor trading systems, our poor ways of negotiations, or our poor ways of thinking far and ahead and more strategic. Okay? So we have to think more broadly. So dwelling on Akan language or any other language, Ga language, I like to teach Ga language. Why do I do that? I do that because I like the fact that I identify with my culture. I am happy about the fact that I have my own culture. And that is why I will teach the Ga language and encourage other Gans not to shy away from their culture. So that is why I teach the Ga language. And if you realize, I will mix it with the English language, because if I teach the Ga language solely in the Ga language, it will be only limited to Ga people, which we understand the language already. So it's about just sharing my culture with the world. This is how we have to look at it. We have to look at how we can reach the world globally. Now, sharing culture is just one factor of many things. Sharing culture is one small aspect of the bigger picture. Sharing culture is what makes us accept each other, accept our diversity, accept the fact that we have different kinds of foods, we have different ways of dressing up. It helps us to live peacefully together. And that is what I am about. And that is why I will teach the Ghana language. And that is what we should be focusing on internally within the boundaries of Ghana, is for us to share our culture, to understand our diversity, to live peacefully with each other, and not to make one ethnic group superior than the other. There's no point. There is no need. It's not going to help Ghana internationally when one ethnic group is more superior than the other. Nobody is going to do business with Ghana in Tree language. Nobody is going to do business with Ghana in the Ghana language, because at the end of the day, the English language is more international. The French language is also international. The German language is also somewhat international. So this is how we should be thinking. If we keep on having this kind of conversation about the Akan language being superior and whatever language being superior, it looks as if we are not thinking forward. We are not moving forward. We are kind of stagnant. We are kind of stagnant, or probably going backwards. We have to move forward. And how do we move forwards? First of all, we have to live peacefully with one another. We don't have to see one ethnic group more superior than the other, or one ethnic language more superior than the other. I don't see the Akan language as more superior than the Ghana language, or the Ebe language, or the Northern language. I don't see it that way. Why is the Akan language more superior than any of the other languages in Ghana? We have diverse cultures, and it makes it beautiful. It makes it so beautiful. So we should be more progressive by promoting cultural diversity rather than making it seem as though one language is more superior than the other. The fact that there are radio stations that are broadcasting in the Akan language does not mean the Akan language is more superior. I will advise George Quay to promote cultural diversity. I think there should be a welcome sign in all the local languages at the airport. There's just only Akwaba. I mean, as of the last time I saw it, it was Akwaba. But there has to be all the other languages being showcased at the airport. A welcome sign in all our languages. We are a diverse country. We are a diverse culture, and it makes it beautiful. So we should foster peace by promoting cultural diversity in Ghana. So on that note, I'm going to end this video. But like I've always said, I'm all about positivity. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Bye.